So I heard this the other day, and now I can't stop thinking about it. Here's the concept. Here's the metaphor that you might need in your life right now. Somebody needs to hear this today because it is still like resonating with me so hard. I can't even remember if I read it in a newsletter, like an email, or if I read it in a caption, but it won't leave me alone. Okay. The caption or whatever, the text I was reading was pointing out that if something is given enough pressure and enough time, that it can turn from coal into diamonds. That's not a new concept. But the way it has like gripped me and helps me understand more about inner work and wounds and suffering in life, it's like, I actually literally looked up like how does coal become diamond and what is it before coal? And y'all, you already know, some of you already know this. I don't know. I knew it, but it needed to be pointed out to me today. Okay, so if this is for you, listen. Death and decay over time sinks down into the swamp and underground and under enough pressure, and I think millions of years of time, but let's just time and pressure, turns into coal. Coal is fuel for something else. Coal can fuel our lives, right? Coal is fuel for transformation because when you turn coal into fuel, you burn it, right? And heat is about transformation, and remember, like the phoenix rising. Okay. Given even more pressure and more time and heat, the coal can turn into a diamond. Cool, right? So, my suffering and pain under pressure, if it's allowed its natural organic process of sinking down and doesn't get stuck or tangled somewhere in my system, can sink down and turn into fuel for me. It can fuel change. Then, if I let it sink even further through time and pressure, pressure is the thing, right? Stress, we're like, oh, relax. But the reason we relax is so that that wound, that pain can sink even further down and we can digest it even further. Eventually, we'll turn into the most, like, diamonds are the hardest, most resistant material. I'm not saying the right words, but a diamond won't break. A diamond scratches everything else, right? Okay. So we'll turn into diamond. Now, there's more. So all of that means that instead of like spiritual enlightenment and going towards feeling good feelings or whatever, you sit with your feeling, you sit in the tension, and you don't try to push it away, you don't suppress it, but you don't wallow in it. You just let it sink, you let it digest. Okay. So, death and decay or suffering and pain, then coal, fuel, transformation, then unbreakable. Okay. Then, in order for that diamond to surface back, like how do we get to diamonds? What happens is diamonds are created deep, 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 like deepest, like in molten lava in the earth, deepest areas. And then they find outlets of cracks, of fissures, and where the heat from the earth pushes them right back up to the surface. And once they break the surface, they're on the ground, and people can pick them up and use them to their advantage. Diamonds bladed saws, diamonds are used in all, diamond dust is used in all sorts of things because of its words, Pam. Unbreakability. Well, it's also precious. We also value it highly. It's worth thousands of dollars. One diamond is worth thousands of dollars. So the metaphor here is your pain and suffering. It's not that those things, the wounds that we encounter in waking life, and I'm talking about emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, all the wounds, all the pain we experience in this waking life. It's just because we're all in a waking world subject to gravity and time, subject to pressure and time. And so those wounds, given enough pressure and enough time and allowed to go through their natural organic process, will churn out fuel for transformation, precious gems that are highly valued, and tools that can be used by others. I don't know. Sometimes I overthink things or I think too hard about things, but this one has got me. There's so much talk about spiritual bypassing and my work with dreams and spiritual direction, but also like the deep inner work that I'm doing on myself all the time. I'm always trying to become better and be better and move towards that higher purpose in life and all of that, blah, blah, blah. It's sunk in today because of that metaphor that I can't stop thinking about. I'm sure I used all the wrong words and I got hung up on a bunch of stuff. And as soon as I post this, I'll be like, oh yeah, I should have said it like this, but I'm going to leave it for you. You guys can probably say it better than me. Okay, love you. Bye.